There are many things we do that destroy us. Sometimes we do them and we're not aware we are doing them. Sometimes we are aware we're doing them, but we're not able to stop them. And somehow we hope that they will not destroy us. But there are things we do that destroy us, all of us. And bitterness can destroy us. And many times we live life very, very bitter. How many of you have read Charles Dickens' book, The Great Expectations? How many of you read Great Expectations when you were in school? In Great Expectations, which was one of the storybooks, novels that most secondary schools would use for literature, there is an interesting character there, a woman called Miss Havisham. Miss Havisham was quite an interesting woman because she was disappointed by a man who was going to marry her. And when she had a lot of money, and this man really wanted to marry her because of her money. She was advised against it, but somehow she still believed that it will work. So on her wedding day, she got dressed in her wedding clothes, had her wedding cake, everything is ready. She goes to the altar at 10 minutes to 9, and somehow she gets the information that the man who is going to marry her is not coming. The wedding is not coming on. And Miss Havisham is very, very disappointed and distraught because of what happens. She instructs that all the clocks in her house should be stopped at 10 minutes to 9. So if you went to her house, every clock reads 10 minutes to 9. Stopped. Nothing moved after that. She never took off her wedding clothes, so she wears her wedding clothes. The wedding cake is still there, and she lives a very, very sad, bitter life. She's very angry. She's very disappointed. Her life is frozen in time. She's not able to move on with her life. And after some time, she decides, maybe I need to get on with my life. So she requests that somebody be brought to her. So they find a girl to come and live with her called Estella. And she starts to train this girl. But for some reason, although Miss Havisham had good intentions for Estella, she begins to poison this girl with a lot of bitterness against men because of the man who disappointed her. And she trains this girl to be a very difficult girl who would also break the hearts of other men. So in time, this girl Estella grows up, and she also becomes a very devious person. And the narrator of the story in Great Expectations is Pip, and Estella ends up breaking this guy's heart. Eventually, Miss Havisham gets to know what she's done. She regrets. Eventually, her whole house gets on fire. She gets burnt. Eventually, she dies. Quite a dramatic story. But it talks about what bitterness can do. A person who goes through an experience and begins to feel bad about the experience, she holds on to the experience for so long, and over time begins to pass on the effects of that experience to somebody else. And that is what bitterness can do. It will destroy you in the end. And today we're going to look at that in our message. The word that is used and translated in the English as bitterness, it comes from a Greek word that means sharp or pointed. The Greek word is pikros, P-I-K-R-O-S, and it means sharp or pointed. Something that is sharp or something that is pointed. So you have the idea that bitterness has sharpness to it, and it is pointed. It pierces, and when you taste it, it is sharp on your tongue. When a person is bitter, they are not sweet. When a person is bitter, they pierce other people and cause a lot of pain in other people's lives. Bitterness, it causes defilement. It causes defilement. When a person is bitter, it defiles them, and then it defiles other people. Secondly, bitterness hinders the grace of God on our lives. You can have a person who is good, well-meaning, who becomes bitter, and for some reason every good thing in them is poisoned by that bitterness. And when you get around them, you become as bitter as they are, and they poison you. Just like the introductory story I told of Miss Havisham, who was poisoned because of somebody's disappointment, and then she passes it on to somebody else who also causes bitterness in other people. We have to be very careful in life that we don't become bitter. Bitterness will poison you, it will defile you, and it will make you defile other people.